Hi, this is Nikki Douglas with Edson Real Estate Gallery, and I'm here with Rickie Williams from Bank of England. And today we're going to talk about buying down your interest rates.
Yes, and I got the pleasure to meet Nikki. We keep running into each other. We went to a big event here recently to support Willie Singleton get an award. And what was the name of that event? It was like Best
Boss.
It was Best Boss. It was recognizing entrepreneurs in the city of Jacksonville, and it was a really cool networking event. And I didn't know she was going to be there, so we linked up there, and we kept crossing paths. So we figured, let's link up here and shoot a live video for you guys. And what we're going to focus on here is how to help you save money when you're looking at financing to buy your next house. So a big portion of the financing part is understanding your interest rate. So we're really going to focus in on your interest rate and how we can help you save. We got an interruption coming in right now, but note to self, when you do a Facebook Live, you got to turn off all your notifications or everything starts clouding your screen. But you can save money in understanding how the interest rates work. And so that's what we're going to discuss here is how to save money with your interest rate and doing a rate buy down, and if that makes sense for you to do that. And Nikki was prepared on this, and she had sent me 3 questions that we're going to use to go through this. And the 3 questions are, understanding what is a point. When lenders throw that lingo around, you can get this rate if you pay 1 point or 2 points, right? So we're going to discuss points. The next thing we're going to look at is it worth paying those points? Like, what does that mean? We know it has something to do with increasing closing costs, but it also lowers our rate. Does it make sense to pay the points?
Right.
And then the third thing is, diving in and what does that actually look like in terms of savings? And how does that compare to maybe instead of paying a point, what if we put more money down? So there's 3 things there that we're going to go through that's going to really clear this subject up. And do you have anything that you want to add to this before I kind of start diving in with it?
I just want to let the buyers know, just to understandable that you have different. When you go for a loan, you can go in and say, "Hey, I might want to buy down my points," or what is the interest rate? How much money would I save on my mortgage? I don't want to go over a certain amount to pay for a mortgage. So I thought this was a great going live of getting more knowledge of buying down the points.
Right, and I agree with that. I haven't seen really many videos out there of people talking about this particular topic in real estate, and there's a lot of confusion around it. So that's the purpose of this video, is to help you understand when you're shopping financing, when you're looking to link up with the best lender for you and meeting your financial goals. When you understand how rates work and how you can save money by either buying down the rate or not buying down the rate.
Right.
And understanding that's going to give you a lot of confidence in the home buying process when you're working with a lender. So we'll start with the first thing. Let's define what a point is. When somebody says point, it actually means a percentage. So if a lender says, "Oh, that rate will cost 1 point," that's 1% of the loan amount. So in the scenario that I'm going to work up here while we're doing this, the loan amount's $250,000. So 1 point is going to be $2,500. Then that's going to, at 2 points is 2%, 3 points 3%, etc. Right? It can also be a half a point, so it could actually be 0.50%, not a full 1%, but it could be 0.50. So it's good to understand that there's a wide variation of how things can cost money when it comes to the interest rate. And we were discussing this before we went live here. An interest rate is like a product. You go to the store, you see different products, everything has a cost attached to it. It's the same thing with interest rates. There's a cost. Nice. Yeah. So there's a cost attached to each interest rate, or there's a credit. And so we're going to talk about that here in a second when it comes to credits. But as far as the cost factor, you're spending money to buy the interest rate down because it's going to save in the future. So the very first question you want to ask yourself as a new homeowner or as you go to buy your next property is, how long am I expecting to live in this property? Or even more so, how long do I plan on owning this property? Because maybe you're only going to live there for the next 3 to 5 years, but maybe there's a good opportunity to convert that to a rental property. So when you buy down the interest rate and you have this rental property for the long term, as you go to buy your next house, now you can rent that property out and cash flow it, and you took advantage of a lower interest rate at the time of purchase, which you get a much better interest rate when you buy a house as your primary versus buying a house as your investment. So interest rates are all based around risk. The riskier a loan file is, the higher the interest rate. So as we decrease the risk, we can lower your interest rate. In primary purchases, when you go to occupy a house as your primary residence, that's considered the least risky. And that allows you to lower your interest rate the most. So what you really want to do to start building a real estate portfolio is buy property and show it as your primary, convert that to an investment. And so when we take it, if you have that vision of keeping the property for a long period of time, that's when we really want to look at paying points to lower your interest rate. But yes, so points is a percentage, and it's considered a rate buy down. So in this scenario, what I did is I took a $250,000 loan amount, and the rate is, let's say, 3.875. No cost associated with that rate. So that's not going to increase your closing costs. That 3.875 costs $0 to you as the customer. And your principal and interest would be $1,176. So $1,176 at 3.875. We're doing a 30-year mortgage. It's a fixed rate, $250,000 loan amount. Your monthly mortgage payment would be $1,176. That's not including taxes, insurance, or any other things that make up a full payment, but just your principal and interest. And so now let's say we pay a point, though. We pay 1 percentage point to buy down the rate, to lower it to 3.5%. That lowers your payment $53, and you're only paying 1%. So you're increasing your cost to close $2,500. That's the 1 point discount charge. So by paying additional $2,500 to lower your rate to 3.5, it lowers your monthly payment to $53. So
the $53.
Yeah, $53.
From $1,176 to $1,123.
Yep, and this is on a $250,000 loan, $1,176 to $1,123. The next thing that you want to look at, if you're considering this decision, what you want to look at is, how long do I plan on being in this property? Because what I'll do on my end as a lender is I'll calculate your break-even point. Your break-even point is when we look at, okay, if I'm paying $2,500 up front, when am I going to start reaping the benefits of buying down this rate? So you paid $2,500 to get that rate down to 3.5. When am I going to start reaping the benefits? First off, your payment's $53 less.
Okay.
You're going to break even at month 47. So you take your $2,500 in cost and you divide it by the monthly savings, which is $53. And that comes out to 47 months. So if you're going to be there for 3 years and 9 months, at that point you're breaking even. So everything after that is savings. Not only is your payment $53, that's the instant gratification. Your payment's $53 less, but also you're making up the $2,500 that you spent up front at month 47.
Okay.
So if you're going to be there for 5 years, you'll save money. And if it's a long-term property, you're going to save a lot of money. The total interest savings will be $20,000.
Wow.
And that's so numbers
$20,000 with 53 by now 1 point.
Correct, 1 point.
Wow.
And what we can do on I believe in options. So I don't want to just send you one option and you feel like that's the only option you can do with us. We can send you a variety of options and you compare which one's going to be the best option for you.
Okay. And
so I could also show you the option with 2 points, and would that actually, would that be worth it? So we can look at a lot of different options there in helping you save the most money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
I think that's those are the biggest things. How long we live in the property, and what is your break-even point when you spend that money to buy down the rate. I think those are the main things, and understanding that a point is 1%, and that you have the option, to buy down your interest rate. With most lenders, you do. I've gone to a credit union before, and it's a flat rate. They had a great rate, but it was flat. There was no buying it down further or going up on the rate, which is something else I wanted to cover here. When you think about a lender paying your closing cost, you're sacrificing your interest rate most of the time. So just like we talked about the 3.8 being no cost, and then we bought down the rate to 3.5, and you paying 1 point to get the rate. Mm-hmm. If we go the other direction, let's say we go to 4.125, maybe now we're giving you a $2,000, $3,000 credit to reduce your closing cost.
Okay.
So you can go both ways. You have your par rate, which is no cost to the customer. You go down on the rate, that increases cost. You go up on the rate, that allows us to cover your closing cost. So as a customer, when you're working with lenders, you want to get some options from them. What does a rate buy down look like? What does their base rate look like with no cost? What kind of credits, if you're looking to really minimize, a lender credit is critical for somebody that's really trying to minimize their upfront investment. I always recommend, let's see if we can lean on the seller to cover your closing costs first. Because if the seller covers your closing cost, then you don't have to worry about getting credits from the lender. Then you can focus on getting a lower interest rate and saving more money when it comes to your financing. Okay. So there's a lot of things to take into account when you're looking at, the financing. So you want to work with a realtor and a lender that's working closely. Local gives you an advantage. And we can leverage other offers. So if you were working with me as your lender, let's say you went out and shopped, or maybe you started with somebody else before you met me. We're going to leverage quotes from other lenders, just like you would in anything else. You get multiple opinions, and we use that to your advantage. We use that as leverage to get you a better deal. So I'm always committed to making sure you get the best deal, whether you go with me or not as your lender. And I know Nikki, she's a phenomenal realtor. I can see she's treating this like a business, and those are the realtors you want to work with. They're all in. They're treating this like a business. And they truly care about their customer and helping their customer out. And for her to want to link up and shoot a video today and discuss this topic tells me everything about her as far as her being serious about her business and wanting to give value back to you guys.
Yeah, so I want the best for my customers. Yes, I go out and show you houses and I'm going to negotiate, but I also want the best for you guys because you guys will be living in a house. And I want you to be happy with your mortgage, be happy with your home. I just want you to be happy all the way around. So, just to be more knowledgeable, talking about the interest rates, just talk about different rates and you can choose different lenders and everything. So, I just wanted to give buyers something more to think about where to go. So, hooking up with Rickie was the best thing.
Good deal. I enjoyed it. We'll have to do this more often. Let us know some topics you'd like to discuss. If there's anything specific you'd like to get more information on, feel free to comment that in this video and we can make that our next topic on the next video.
And this is Nikki Douglas with Etsy Real Estate Gallery.
And Rickie McWilliams over at Bank of England Mortgage.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.